All right, guys, let me just turn on my camera just a second. Hold on, there we go. And you can see us. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Well then, welcome to the Zeropark's newest and latest webinar regarding how to save money and your campaigns during this Black Friday, Cyber Monday shopping period that's coming up in the next few weeks. But more importantly, also for Q4 of 2021, as well as this is also can apply to all of your campaigns moving forward with Zeropark. So first off, let me welcome you all and let me introduce to you a colleague of mine, Oleg.
Hi guys, so it's a pleasure to meet you and thank you Adam for having me today.
It's a great pleasure to have you.
Yes, so let me introduce myself. I'm Alexander Jankowski and I've been a key account manager for Zeropark for over a year now.
Yes. So a little well-known secret, me and Oleg actually sit next to each other here in the office. So we have a lot of great banter and cheeky fun going both ways. So hopefully we can bring that in on today's webinar so that you guys can learn something, but also have a good laugh while learning.
Yes, and we basically hope you're going to find this presentation useful.
Yes. So a little bit of background about me. I'm one of the onboarding managers at Zeropark. Now we've got a few more. So we've got Dima, we've got Carolina. So you'll probably, if you haven't signed up or experienced Zeropark in the past, you'll get to meet them as well once you start your adventure on our platform. So overall, my role as an onboarding manager is to help out new affiliates to grow and scale up their activity on our platform so that they can start off on the right foot and learn how Zeropark works, how to optimize their campaigns, which we'll get into a little bit further, but more importantly, scale you up so that you can get a dedicated account manager such as Oleg on this side. So without further ado, let's get into it. And so a little bit of information regarding Zeropark. I'm not sure if any of you guys have worked with Zeropark in the past. I know that we've got a bit of a list of attendees here. So just to give you a quick summary here, Zeropark has been around since 2012. We offer 4 different types of traffic. So we started off with domain, then we moved over to pop. We've expanded to push and in-page push, and our latest form of traffic, which is our search inventory, is only for selected advertisers that are running high quality offers. That can apply perfectly for e-commerce. So anything with big brands like, let's say, Best Buy, Amazon, Adidas, Nike, you name it, Nintendo Switch even. So we have had advertisers promoting Nintendo on search inventory in the past. So there's a few things that we're going to cover on today's webinar. So one, we're going to cover a strategy to help you out on this Q4 shopping period. We're going to cover a couple metrics for you to monitor, which is going to help you to move into optimizing and improving the performance of your campaign. We're also going to discuss regarding budgets, how to budget wisely, effectively, and appropriately for your campaigns based on the results that you expect to get. All of this is gonna help you in maximizing your profits during this Black Friday, Cyber Monday, holiday season, Q4 of 2021. So let's get into it. So yes, a foolproof plan. I'll let Oleg take over it.
So let me talk to you about planning your affiliate calendar. I think you're probably aware that digital advertising is the go-to solution for all kinds of businesses in 2021. And you also must have heard that e-commerce profits are expected to go over the roof this year. That's why Black Friday and Cyber Monday craze, which is about to hit us, and I cannot stress this enough, but it's very, very important. But on the other hand, those 2 days are not the only days during 2021 which can bring you profits. There will be more opportunities for you to monetize your offers, such as free shipping day on 14th of December or even a Christmas Eve. When?
24th of December, I believe.
Yes, that's right. So, but we have a whole article about it available on our blog, which you can actually check after the presentation. I think there's a pretty useful information.
There's also a full list of big holiday e-commerce events that are happening throughout the year that you cannot, if you miss out this quarter, you can look at applying for next year as well. So
yes,
that's something that will help you out moving forward as well.
So let's move on to the next slide.
Yeah.
So according to a Forbes magazine, Black Friday 2021 is going to be the busiest shopping day of all the year. And origins of the Black Friday, do you know them?
So I believe it started off in the US.
Yes, that's right. But what's even more important, it's not a US even only anymore. It's a global shopping holiday at this point. And this is just the tip of an iceberg, as Cyber Monday is the biggest day of profit for online retailers and even affiliate marketers such you, and has actually surpassed the Black Friday itself. So just to put some statistics in it, Cyber Monday hit a record of $10 billion in profits, and Black Friday hit $9 billion in profits. And this number is only set to go up this year.
So we're going to get into a bit of the metrics that we're going to be covering to help you in monitoring these performance of your campaigns. So I'm sure you guys have all heard of this: the win ratio, the CTR, the eCPA, the CR, and the ROI. Basically, it's a whole bunch of acronyms, but let's get into it so that you guys know exactly what to look out for when keeping an eye on these different metrics of your, to monitor the performance of your campaign. So first one is win ratio. Basically, all it is how many times you've bidded on a source. So this can be either your overall campaign, your publisher feed, so the source ID, or website ID, so the target, and how many times you've won those bids. And this is calculated into a percentage. So this basically shows you how competitive your campaign bid is against other advertisers on the network. So this will help you to see whether you've got a strong bid or a weak bid. The higher the win ratio, the better your campaign has of winning more traffic, the better chance your campaign has of exposure, the better chance of conversions you get. But Oleg, since he's a key account manager and he's dealt with these win ratios on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, what's the best one that we should be looking at when starting off?
Yes, so from my experience, when it comes to testing a new offer, you want to aim something between 70 to 90%, as you would like to test as much of the traffic as possible.
Okay. So 70 to 90%, that's quite high, right?
Yes.
All right, well, I mean, that's exactly it. You want to be able to win a big chunk to be able to get as much information regarding your campaigns as possible.
Otherwise
right?
you won't be able to optimize your campaigns, and we clearly do not want to do that, right?
Yeah. Exactly. So the CTR, which is the click-through rate. So this applies to push campaigns. And what this helps you to do is to understand exactly how to gauge, to measure the level of engagement of your push notifications, push creatives that they have on the marketplace. So all it is clicks divided by impressions. So the higher the percentage, the higher engagement you have, and this helps you to optimize and improve the performance of your push notifications. And so you'll want to keep monitoring this performance and updating and changing these creatives as well. So don't worry, we've got some examples for you when it comes to e-commerce offers. We also have a starter pack. You can also reach out to our support team regarding any questions on how to improve these CTRs moving forward once you've launched your campaigns, of course. And the eCPA, this is crucial when it comes to optimizing the performance of your campaign and monitoring those changes that you've made. So all this is how much on average you're paying per action, so conversion, right?
Yes.
So when you've got all your tracking set up, you'll be sending back conversion data to Zeropark. This will help you to assess that the changes that you've made are working to your favor or not. So the higher the eCPA, so this cost per conversion, the worse those changes were for your campaign, the lower, the better. So ideally, your first goal would be to raise up those win ratios. Then your second goal would be so that you're winning as much traffic as possible. Your second goal then is to try and decrease that eCPA. Ideally, your first step is you want to get it below your payout so that you can actually start making a profit and see what's red today to turn it
Yes.
Green tomorrow. All right. So exactly that's what it is. So the lower we've got that ECPA, the more money we're making per conversion.
Yeah.
So exactly that. Then we've got the ROI. This is just a simple cost analysis, your return on investment. So how much money you're making compared to how much money you're spending in a percentage. So you want to get this as high as possible as well. This can only be seen when you are sending back payout data per conversion as well. So it's crucial, it's highly important that you need to have a proper tracking solution. You need to have proper tracking set up for your campaigns to be able to take advantage of that ECPA or this ROI metric.
But you know what's even more important?
What?
Budget.
Yes, that is true. That is true. So we're going to move into budgets in a short while. Don't get too
Sorry,
excited, Oleg.
I rushed it.
But as you can see here, like I mentioned regarding those creatives, we've got some examples here on the right-hand side. What we can take advantage of here and what we can notice as well is that all of these creatives look different. There's not anything similar in terms of text, in terms of the images. One thing that you might see that links them all together is that use of emojis. Taking advantage of these emojis will help you in grabbing the user's attention, creating that fear of missing out opportunity. As you can see here, you've got clocks, you've got flash sales, you've got red colors, yellow colors, you've got fire emojis, you've got scared face emojis, you've got percentages to help grab that interest. Just like with any other sale that you see, you start to see 50% off, 80% off, boom, you want to start buying as many products as possible to take advantage of those deals, of those savings.
All right.
So now we're going to move into those budgets.
Yes.
There we go.
I really rushed it to tell you about it, as I think it's actually very important when it comes to managing your budget. So you need to remember to maintain the cash flow so that you let your campaigns run consistently and without any long breaks. You do not want to lose any opportunity to profit from this holiday season, so plan beforehand your budgets. The available volumes will rise due to the fact that more users will be searching for the products they always dreamt of and haven't bought till now. So be aware of that and make sure your budget will not pause your campaigns. So a few recommendations from me. The minimum daily budget I would recommend is $200, and the minimum source budget is $40, and the minimum target budget is $10. But why is it important? So it is crucial to make sure that you have a reasonable budget for testing, as your offer will underperform when you have not allocated enough money in your campaign budget. Or, for instance, a sensible bid to be competitive on our platform against other advertisers which have a similar offers. But let's suppose you don't want to spend much. What can you do? So as I mentioned before, it's not a US event only. So please try a low payout offer instead of a high payout offer. And instead of targeting United States, just try targeting tier 3 countries, because it can be profitable too. And do not forget to spread your budget evenly using our feature, for instance, buying traffic smoothly, because this will be much more convenient for you than buying all available traffic at once.
Exactly. And if I can just squeeze in here, it's important to always remember with any offer, the higher the payout, the harder the conversions are.
Yes.
So the lower the payout, the easier it is to get those conversions. So if you ever are testing any traffic networks or any new types of approach that you want to take advantage of, it's important to find those low payout offers so that you can get those easy conversions and then assess the performance moving forward. When you're looking to scale up and grow and take bigger risks, then you can start to look at those higher paying out offers.
Yes, that's correct. So let's move on to bidding, because I think this is quite connected to the budgets. And another thing about bidding is that during the campaign creation, our panel will show you our recommendation based on the data from current bids. But my recommendation would be to bid slightly above the suggested bid by around 5 to 10% in order to be competitive on our platform against other advertisers with similar offers. But let's move on to a win ratio. A common issue with the win ratio and ECPA is that advertisers tend to look at improving the performance of their campaigns by decreasing the eCPA. It's something that you mentioned before in our presentation, that people start to have a tendency to check the eCPA instead of the win ratio at the beginning. So we should turn it around. So you should start looking at the win ratio first and then eCPA. But it's also important to look at the win ratio, not on the overall campaign, but for individual sources or targets to improve the eCPA later on. So this can be done by setting up custom bids on sources, targets to better manage the budget spend. And having a strong win ratio helps your campaigns to have a competitive advantage on the network by outperforming your competitors with a strong bid. Yes.
Okay, so how are we going to optimize these campaigns? So we've just mentioned, budgets, we mentioned the different metrics. That's all well and good, but there's a whole bunch of different opportunities that we can look at when optimizing the performance of the campaign, just like there's a whole lot of areas where we can fall short and overspend on our campaigns than we need to. So let's move into it. So we've got a number of different traffic filtering options. We've got a number of different approaches for this. The first is campaign testing. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to broad test the traffic. We want to broad test our offer. What this means is we want to be able to buy as much as possible. So ideally, we could look at setting up a run of network campaign first, so that we're buying everything that's available on the platform, within the country that we're looking at. And then we can start to look at optimization by identifying sources or targets that are performing well. It's important to remember though, the difference between a source and a target. So the source is our publisher feeds, the targets our website ID. So in other terms, I know that other networks call this zone 1 and zone 2. Ideally, what we want to do is we want to identify those sources. Then we can look at focusing on those targets at a later date, simply because targets tend to have a shorter life cycle than sources. We can also look at setting up custom bids. So this goes back into what Oleg was mentioning regarding budgets, what I mentioned briefly, and Oleg in a little bit more detail mentioned regarding the win ratio. We can make sure to set up custom bids on these sources, on these targets, so that we can have a competitive win ratio, a competitive bid on on these sources, on these targets, while overriding the overall campaign bid and optimizing the campaign that way. Other options that we can look at is traffic filters. So Zeropark's a great tool because you can look at filtering the traffic on the desktop or the mobile level, on the browser, on the OS versions as well. If you're only targeting mobile traffic, you can also look at targeting, for example, mobile carrier traffic as well. When it comes to these e-commerce offers or any types of offers that you're running, we also have the option to filter out between adult and non-adult. So depending on what your offer is, if it's more mainstream, you might want to focus on non-adult. So I know that Oleg was looking at some Nike shoes today. Hopefully, I get a good Christmas present this year.
But how about Adidas? Can we do that?
We can do Adidas as well. I'm not too much of a fan of Adidas, but we can do Adidas. I want to, be able to jump like Mike, so I want to get those Air Jordans. But ideally, for example, so Oleg would want to be running his Adidas or Nike campaigns or any mainstream offer campaigns on non-adult traffic. However, when it comes down to, let's say, Valentine's Day, and you want to, promote special types of presents for your significant other, you might want to do that on adult traffic. Yeah. For example, let's say like Adam and Eve or whatever those other adult e-commerce websites are. You can look at only focusing on adult traffic so that you're not buying anything that isn't relevant to your types of offers. The other options that we have here, and this is once we've ran the campaign for a couple of weeks, we've identified certain trends in the performance of these campaigns, is day parting. So what we can do is we can run the campaign on specific times of the day, days of the week as well. So what this means is if we start to see that the campaign is performing better outside of working hours, we can set that up to only run outside that normal 9 to 5. We can also set this up to run on weekends or Monday to Thursday or Wednesday to Friday, whatever it is that works for you. So there's a couple of insights that Oleg might have. One is regarding the time zones that we're able to set here. So what do you recommend with that?
When it comes to time zones?
Yes.
Yes. So my recommendation when it comes to time zones is always use the one that you know about. So, for instance, make sure that the time zone that is in your system is matching the time zone of your offer. So, if you plan to advertise offers in the United States, for instance, do not make sure that the time zone is correct.
Yes.
Because I've seen that mistakes quite often, that people mix the time zones.
Yeah, so between the tracker and what they've got
Yes.
in Zeropark. So make sure that those time zones are the same. That way it helps you in reporting
Yeah.
and
And
optimizing
then
that
you
way.
have actually, you are sure that your offer is being shown at the right time, because you don't want to show your offer about Nike shoes at like 4 a.m., right?
Exactly, because who's going to be buying
Who's
shoes?
gonna be buying
Unless you're a sneakerhead.
Yeah, unless you're a sneakerhead, then you can go ahead and buy them. But you're probably not planning to sell just one Nike shoes. You want to sell as much as possible, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you want to save as much money as possible.
Yeah.
So we've also got keyword targeting. Now this is available on domain and pop traffic. So it's important to remember this. You're able to target on specific keywords. So like we mentioned regarding Nike, we can look at, looking at adding keywords of competitors, of products or brands of those various companies. So we can look at, Nike Air Max, we can put in Nike TNs if you're from Sydney. You can also look at, for example,
Jordans.
Exactly.
Yes, if you want to be more granular, instead of just looking for Nike, you can target just the particular audience you want.
Exactly. So it's important to make sure that you set these keywords as broad. You don't want to set them as exact. The reason for that is you're going to cut out a lot of traffic, so you're going to have very low volumes. By having it set to broad, you can get all different types of combinations. So if you look at setting Nike as a broad keyword, you can get Nike shoes, Nike jumpers, Nike clothes, Nike streetwear, whatever it is the combination. However, if you set it to exact, you're only going to be targeting Nike, nothing else. The difference between this when it comes to domain and pop is that domain identifies these keywords within the URL. So any common misspellings would be crucial to add here. And then with pop, it identifies it with the meta tags of the website. So that's another option that you can look at. However, we also identify these options when it comes to our search inventory. So after this webinar, we can send you some information regarding search inventory. Please write to your to our support team or any messaging channels that you guys might have available. So either through the website or Skypes or emails, whatever it is, to get those packages regarding more technological ways of search inventory. However, we work on two ways. We work on branded search. So what this means is, as a user types in it in a search engine like Quant, for example, suggestions will pop up. Users can click on those suggestions, which are marked as advertisements, to be taken directly to the homepage of that brand. The other option is search tiles. So I'm sure as you've opened up different websites or browsers on your website on your computers in the past or mobile phones, you'll see different little tiles at the bottom of the search engine, which you can click and be taken directly to the homepage as well. So it's greatly improves the user experience of how of the user going to whatever product that they're searching for, which therefore increases the chances of that conversion happening, that sale happening, and you getting a nice payout on those sales.
And we want a lot of them.
Exactly. And it's one of our strongest performing traffic types when it comes to e-commerce, and we expect it to grow exorbitantly.
Heavily, especially before the Black Friday. If you look at the graphs, you can see that before the Black Friday, the amount of traffic available to buy, especially on set traffic, is significant.
Exactly. So please, guys, if you do have any offers and you want to try out our search inventory, please write to our support team or to your account managers so that they can turn it on for you. You need to provide us the following: link of the offer, the country that you want to run, along with any restrictions, as it is restricted to only high quality campaigns. So this isn't open to everyone and every single type of offer.
Yes.
So mostly only branded campaigns, so e-commerce or big companies that you're looking at promoting for. We're also going to get into some RBOS, so rule-based optimization. Now, if you're tracking your campaigns, and I can't stress this enough, it is a must. If you are a Zeropark user and you're not using any tracking solution, stop what you're doing right now. We'll, finish off this webinar, but you do get a free 2-week trial, 2 volumes, so you can take advantage of this. It's quite easy to set up. That way you're able to send back conversion data, payout data, and you're able to take advantage of these rule-based optimizations. So we've got 2 ways of setting this up. One, you can set up custom rules. So for example, that if a target has more than 2 times the payout and spend, and the conversion is less than 1, then to pause it within the last 7 days, of course. Or you can set it up with an expected ECPA, so your average cost per action. What I would recommend here is set it up based on your payout. That way you can set up 3 basic rules over a 7-day period, which you can see here some examples on the right-hand side. And what this then does is our algorithm will help monitor the performance of your campaign and make changes to these targets, to these sources. Please keep in mind, this is an algorithm, this is an AI, so there can be errors. So it's always crucial to keep an eye on this, but you don't have to keep checking every 5 or 10 minutes. You can set up multiple campaigns and check every couple of hours on what's being changed and make changes accordingly. So it's quite helpful. It's something that I strongly recommend for advertisers that are looking at, beginning the first steps of their optimization period, or they're looking at launching other campaigns and they want to be able to monitor the performance of everything.
Yes. And I have prepared some optimization tips for you guys. And first of all, start broadly. I think you mentioned that before with keyword targeting.
Yes,
you don't want to get too narrow. And the biggest mistake I've seen many people is the tendency to cut most of the traffic just from the beginning. And this is something you clearly do not want to do. And there is an option to start with the whitelist, and we, with Adam, more than happy to provide you with our top performing placements. However, use them wisely. There's nothing worse than a ad fatigue, and to fight it, switch from your source campaign back to a RON campaign, and this can help you find new sources and offering a fresh audience that you haven't yet advertised your offer before.
Exactly, and to help fight this fatigue, one thing that I also recommend is regularly update those push notifications. Yes. If you're running on push, if you're running on any type of traffic network and you're taking advantage of any pre-landers, regularly update those pre-landers as well. So if the user keeps seeing the same pre-lander, the same offer, chances are they're going to get fatigued with it, they're going to get bored with it, they're not even going to engage. That way, if you change it up, you can at least improve the level of engagement and see where you're falling short if you are starting to see a decrease in conversions.
Yes, and another tip is, like, for instance, let's suppose you are getting very little traffic. So if you're low on traffic, check whether your targeting is not too narrow. Opening your campaign to more OSS versions or more browsers may turn out to be actually very profitable change for you.
Exactly, yes? Exactly. So making sure that you're not bottlenecking all of the traffic will help you in improving the performance as well.
Yeah. So let's move on to the next slide.
Yeah. So basically, how we can help. So like we mentioned, me and Oleg can always provide you guys whitelists, insights into the traffic before launching any campaigns. But it's also important to take advantage of different types of traffic. So for example, if you're running on POP, why not give domain a go? Or if you're running on push, why not try out POP or domain? Exactly. Similarly with our search inventory, if you've got some high quality traffic, if you've got offers, what we can do here is you can email us and we can turn on, or have even a quick call with you. Me, Dima, Carolina, or even Oleg can have a quick call with you and discuss our search inventory so that you guys can get a better understanding on that, so that you guys can launch your new high quality offers that you're looking at promoting. We can also provide you insights to what verticals, what offers are performing well within a given country to try that out. So it's important to sign up to our traffic insights, where you get the top top verticals over the past 7 days on a weekly basis. That way you're up to date, up to track. And it's also important to remember trends. So now's Q4, yes. We're moving into the holiday season. So e-commerce, you've got Black Friday, you've got Cyber Monday, you've got free shipping day, you've got Christmas Eve, you've even got Hanukkah coming up in the next
I think this is the hottest season around the year.
So, exactly. Yeah. So this is where we see the biggest advertiser engagement. This is where we see the best results for our advertisers, for our users in the within a 12-month period. So we've got some great deals for you guys as well. So I hope you guys had a blast listening to us, and I hope you got a bit of a chuckle here and there. But what's important to remember is, because we're big on this Cyber Monday and Black Friday, we're actually launching our own promotions on a 24-hour period. These are flash deals that are starting on Monday, 22nd of November, 2021. So if you're listening to this in the future, I'm sorry, you've missed out on these, but you'll get advantage. Now that you're in this webinar, you're going to get advantage of this. So every day there's going to be a new promotion. Unfortunately, the marketing team hasn't told me what these promotions are. You're going to have to check them in, sign up to our blogs, sign up to our newsletters to get these promotions on a daily basis. But these are all different stuff. Either this is going to be affiliate networks, it's going to be different trackers, spy tools, it may be even some kind of bonuses or discounts for top-ups or some kind of promo codes moving forward. So sign up to our newsletters, sign up to our blog so that you get all of this information. This is a limited deal. So this is going to be over the next couple of days, starting Monday. Make sure you sign up. Don't miss out on this, because you're going to hate yourselves if you do. And to summarize what we covered today, we've got a number of different checklists which Oleg's going to go through with you guys.
Yes, so we've got the summary of our presentation. I'm not going to go through those points because you probably were listening, so I'll be just repeating myself. However, you can check them after the presentation today. And to summarize, do your research, check what's trending at the moment, and then make your campaigns, make them trendy, make like a good proper landing pages. And then once you optimize your campaigns, check whether you're winning most of the traffic. Do not focus on the eCPA. Check your targeting. Is it too narrow? Is it too broad? Just do whatever it takes and make sure you're actually not missing out on the opportunity, which is the Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So I hope you guys had a blast listening. We've got some Q&A time for you guys set aside. So I'm sure you guys have a ton of questions. So we're going to open up the channel now for you guys to answer. What we're going to do is we're going to open up this Q&A section. So just give me a moment. Hopefully I don't lose it all, but all right. So let's go through the messaging and let's go through these Q&As. So you can either send this in the Q&A section. You can also send this in the comments section in the chat. I see Nilesh sent us at the beginning of this webinar.
Hi,
a good evening. So good evening to you as well. I hope it's not too late for you. So does anyone have any questions, anything that they want to discuss?
I mean, if there are no questions at the moment, you can always just
send us an email. Yes, so you can also send us an email if you have any questions, anything that you want to discuss at the end of this webinar. So I see we do have one Q&A here. So Gerard said, thank you for the webinar. Why do you believe that pop format and push are the worst? So we don't think that pop or push are the worst. What we would recommend... there we go. So we've got a correction here. So Gerard thinks that pop and push are the worst. So what we would recommend here is send us an email on why you think that. But overall, it varies on the type of offer that you're promoting compared to what type of traffic you should use. So historically, what we see the best work for e-commerce offers is, like we mentioned, that search inventory, domain redirect, especially when it comes to taking advantage of those keyword targeting, when it comes to those tier 1 countries. What we've seen work quite well with POP is e-commerce as well as travel offers within Southeast Asia and Asia as a whole. So what we see work quite well is Lazada, Shopee in Vietnam, Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia as well work quite well. But it really does depend on the type of offer that you're promoting. So that's why it's always important. Send us a message with a link of your offer. That way we can always say, hey, look, before launching your campaign, this is the traffic that you need to look at. These are some of the traffic filters that you should be focusing on to help you out moving forward at the very beginning.
And we also have one more question from Nilesh. Thank you for that. So it says whether pop or push will be better in tier 2 country.
Yes.
And from my experience, I think it depends on the offer you're actually trying to promote, because either work very well on our platform. And I've seen pop doing very good in tier 3 countries, and I've seen push doing as good as pop in tier 3 countries too. Push will be a bit more expensive in tier 3 countries, but it's still very good to promote gambling of verticals, or for instance, anything that's connected to e-commerce, especially before the Black Friday. So my recommendation would be to use push in tier 3 countries, and you can personalize the message the user will see. For instance, get your deal for that Cyber Monday, get your deal for Black Friday.
Exactly.
And I think this will actually improve your click-through ratio, right?
Yes, because you're able to so easily update those push notifications, those creatives. What you can do is you can set those same creatives for Cyber Monday, for Black Friday, pause them after Black Friday, and then on Saturday or even Friday just before midnight, you can pause them, submit new creatives that are going to be targeting Cyber Monday, for example. And this can be regarding anything, even post Black Friday, Sunday, Monday, any big events, any big holiday events, or even sales events that might be happening. You're able to do that and update it. So that works quite well. What we see is with push works quite well with gambling and casino and sports betting offers, because you're so easily able to update that on the big sporting events happening on that weekend or the following weekend.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you, Nilesh.
So does anyone else have any other questions? Okay. So Nilesh is also asking about explaining the budgets for push.
Yes, so when it comes to the budget, I mentioned it in the conversation. So my personal recommendation will be to go over $100. So $200 will be ideal, but if you have like 150, just go for it and test as many creatives as possible for push.
Yes. So ideally, you want to be updating those creatives every 2 to 3 days. You want to have about 3 to 4 active creatives at a time, because you don't want to have all 10 active right away, because then it's going to be very difficult to measure that performance with that. You want to also be able to track those creatives. So make sure you have them written down. If you make any changes, make sure that you've got the statistics and the performance written down.
And do not change them too often, because you want to gather that data.
Exactly.
So what I would say is to start before the Black Friday, because Black Friday is just not on the 27th. It's just before and it's after, because people are already in the mood of buying. So if you want to sell something, start before, because before you have that window for your testing. On the 27th, you will have no time.
Exactly. So, so as we've seen here, I mean, Black Friday, the promotions have already started. I mean, I got an email today from Nintendo that the Black Friday sale on the eShop
all the shopping sites are already promoting Black Friday, and I think you should too.
All right, so can you talk more about the domain format? All right, so Garad, so regarding domain, it works on redirect. So what this means is that when a user enters a misspelled or parked domain, which is owned by one of our partners, so our publishers, what happens then is that this user will then be redirected to your offers landing page. So In terms of the way that the traffic works, it's quite simple. It works on redirect, so you're paying per visit, not like how on push you're paying per click. So here, every single time a user sees your offer, they're redirected. That's where taking advantage of those keywords are crucial, because if a user types in, let's say, Nike with too many E's, and that misspelled URL is owned by one of our publishers, then they're going to be redirected to your landing page, which already captures that user based on the interest of those keywords. Does that help to answer your question? That's great to hear. Yes. That's great to hear. If you have any questions regarding our inventory, please feel free to check out our blog, our documentation website, as well as of our previous webinars that we ran. If you still have any questions or issues with our inventory after this webinar, you can always send us an email on our support channel.
Yes, we're more than happy to help.
support@zeropark.com. You'll also have my contact details at the end of this webinar that you'll be able to
and we're going to share the presentation, right?
As well. You'll be emailed the presentation and all of this material as well.
Do they have your contact details there?
There should be my contact details, but just to let you guys know, I will be out of the office starting tomorrow till next Thursday. So if you do need me during the next few days, please reach out to our support.
Well, happy to hear that. Yes, that's.
So we are planning to run regular webinars as well, starting in the new year. So we're going to be covering all of our traffic types. We're also going to be reviewing previous webinars, such as these e-commerce ones, campaign optimization as well as any big sporting events or e-commerce or even gambling events that might be happening in the next year.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to get this stuff ready for any big event that happens within 2022 as well. Awesome. So is there any other questions that you guys might have?
I think the only thing that we can say is thank you for being with us today.
Exactly. Thank you for being with us.
Did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun.
I hope you guys had as well a lot of fun with us, and I hope you learned something new today.
Yeah.
And that you will prepare your campaigns for Cyber Monday and Black Friday.
Awesome. Well then, guys, thank you for having us. Thank you for putting up with us tonight. Enjoy your weekend coming up. Enjoy your campaigns. If you guys need any help, please feel free to send us a message and kick ass for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and make sure that you guys get the best benefits out of Zeropark as well.
Yep.
All right. Well, take care. Enjoy yourselves.
Thank you, guys.
See ya.